Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. As you know, I am Philip Kankam and I thank you very much for being part with me, and I appreciate your precious time of watching me, and I encourage you to continue following this channel. Now, today, what we are going to do is we are going to look at the serious important issue that is happening in Ukraine today. So the first question that I want to ask is, why Putin want Kiev, or why Putin want Ukraine? These have a historical events that I will share with you. But before you continue, if you are not subscribed, please kindly like, subscribe, and to support the channel. It will also help you to get a new notification of any video that I will upload. First, we are going to look at the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union was an organization that was established in the 1917 to 1922 after the First World War. So this organization was formed, and their objective was to ensure socialism. When I say socialism, socialism is a system whereby all the properties in a state is being controlled by the government. So those of you who are Ghanaians, if you look at the system of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah when Ghana gained independence in the early 1960s, from 1957 to 1960s, that was the policy that he adopted. So the Soviet Union, officially the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, was socialist state that spanned Eurasia during its existence from 1922 to 1991. It was a federal union, different nations under one government. As I said, everything that was in the system was controlled by what? The government. It includes Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Estonia, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Latvia, Lithuania, Moldova, Russia, Tajikistan, and Ukraine and Uzbekistan. So these countries, there were 15 countries that form one government, that form one union. And unfortunately, the USSR, as we all know, it was collapsed in 1991, and during the 1991, they gave independence to the countries that was under the government. So they identified them independently, and Ukraine gained independence from there, Azerbaijan gained independence from there, Georgia gained independence from there, Armenia, all those countries were allowed to practice their own government. But they signed some treaties. That is why today you see that this current president of Russia, that is Vladimir Putin, he wants to have control over Ukraine. Not necessarily control, but there were some treaties that they signed before they gave the independence to the Ukraine. And not Ukraine alone. As I said, we have the Belarus, all the 15 countries, there were some treaties. So indirectly, they are going to be with them as Ghana, as African countries. When we were colonized, we know that we have what? We have Commonwealth of Nations. They are in the one organization. We have the Francophone, they are English-speaking, the French-speaking countries. They are also in one organization that they have what they usually discuss things that is concerning them. So, but today, Ukraine, the current government of Ukraine, that is headed by the President Vladimir Zelensky, he wants to join NATO. He has the idea of joining NATO. The NATO is a North Atlantic Treaty Organization. This organization, you can find the Western countries there. You can get America there, you can get France there, you can get UK there, you can get Germany there. For them, they are capitalist state. When I say the capitalist state, they believe that the country should be run by the individuals. The individual should be allowed to have properties to what? In addition with the government. But when you go to socialism or communism doesn't what doesn't go that way. Communism want everything to be controlled by the government, but both the two governments, there are advantages and disadvantages. I'm just going to share only one advantage with them. When you go to the communism or socialism, the socialism promotes equality. When I say equality, you want everybody in the country to have access to what? Buildings, to have access to cars. If everybody have car, everybody should have one car. That's what. For example, if I'm using the iPhone, everybody should have iPhone. But it doesn't promote multi-party democracy. It forbids multi-party democracy. So it's only normally practicing one-party system. So today's world, we have some countries that are practicing that type of democracy. We have China; they are practicing that type of communist system. We have Russia itself is also practicing that same type of system. We have Cuba. Cuba is also a communist state. They are also practicing that system of government. And this is what it's all about. But let's look at Ukraine. Today's problem is it have a historic, as I said. So right now, as we have learned these things, let's look at the three things that Vladimir Putin, he want Vladimir Zelensky of Ukraine to do for him. So he said he want partially demilitarize. He want to demilitarize Ukraine partially. They shouldn't have to join NATO, and they have to their military. They have to reduce their military strength, which is that is what he wants. And also Russia recognize. He want Ukraine to recognize sovereignty of Crimea. That is the Black Sea Peninsula that Moscow annexed in 2014. In 2014, there was some disturbances over there like this, and Moscow annexed Crimea. It also is a southern part of Ukraine, and they annexed that part. He said he want Ukraine to recognize them as independent country. And the other thing is also he want to forbid, or he don't want Ukraine to join NATO. As I said, NATO is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and this organization, what it does is it encourages all its members within the states to use at least 2% of their GDP. When I say GDP, I'm referring to the gross domestic product of that country, to put into military, to ensure that is the security aspect. And Vladimir Putin of Russia thinks this thing will put stress to his country, and also it will allow America to becoming too closer. America and the Western countries to become too closer with Russia, and he believes that Russia is not safe in that way because his enemies are getting closer to his borders. That's why according to Putin himself. So, thank you very much for being part with me with this short lesson. I'm so very much grateful. I pray for Ukraine. I pray for the peace of the Eastern Europe, and we all pray that they come to consensus, they come together so that we get peace. No war. We don't want any third world war, because if this thing escalates, Russia also has its allies. The Russia allies, he has his allies. Russia has allies. That is Cuba. As I said, Afghanistan. We all know that Afghanistan they just get rid of America from Afghanistan. Just last year, they just get rid of Afghanistan, and we believe that Afghanistan, when it comes to any third world war, which God forbid, Afghanistan will be in the side of Russia. We also have Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan also it was part of the USSR, and we have Iran. Iran too is it is likely that Iran also, if there's any third world war, Iran can join Russia. We also have Syria, and Syria too is also allied to Russia. We also have China. China is also one of the number one allies to Russia, that if there's any war, we believe China will be in that case. We also have North Korea. They also ally with what? Russia. So let's pray for let's say no to Third World War. We all want peace. Thank you very much for being part of me. Please, if you have not subscribed, kindly like and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you.